So, I had a couple things I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about cancel culture. And I wanted to talk about something else. I had great points. I did. What was the other thing I wanted to talk about? Shit. I got so much stuff going on in my head. Hold on a second.
I got a good one. How many of you, once you took the frickin' cash out option out on the home that you have been leveraging to frickin' God knows what, how many of you brought your old lady a new pair of boobs? Oh my God, you want to talk about spending money on a depreciating fucking asset?
I'll be honest with you, I don't fucking remember. All I can think about now is this new thought that has occurred to me. I had great points. I had really great points about both of those topics. And at this point, I can't even remember one of the fucking topics. I just, something just occurred to me. I think the Democrats are fucked. They've nurtured fringe elements to the point where they're kind of taking over from within and kind of done with it all from without. Does that make sense? Alright, the Democrats said, we're going to go ahead and pander to the most extreme portion of our group. We're going to go ahead and we're going to push their ideals and we're going to push all that as the thing, and and our people will just fall in line because our people just fall in line. And that worked to a degree. They picked up this whole faction. Communism. This is like communists, socialists. They picked up all these different factions. And now, because they keep going into different areas, they're still creating more factions within their group. So at first you have just the Democrats. It's just the Democrats, and the fringe crazy people were fringe crazy people. That's the way it is on both sides, right? Democrats, Republicans, crazy people on either side, outside of them, people in the middle. They every year have to fucking pick one, right? And then the Democrats said, well, we're going to pander to the social justice stuff. So we're going to pander to the feminists, which caused a split. Because not everybody in the center, and not everybody that's just kind of a Democrat, really fucking go with the feminist shit. Because the feminist shit got fucking insane. And a lot of people got turned off by that shit. They decided to pander to transgender people. And a lot of transgender people didn't like the way they did it. And so they were like... And they fucking got pissed off. And then they pandered to... they keep pushing away teeny portions of the people that are, from the middle to the center of their side. They kept pushing them further and further and further and further and further over, which is a thing we talk about. If you're a centrist now, you're racist. So there is no fucking right or left. There is no center anymore. You either choose the Democrats or you're fucking not with the Democrats. They made that decision. I didn't fucking make that decision. I think that's stupid. Whatever. They made that decision. If you're not in lockstep with them, you're racist or sexist or homophobic or whatever, right? That's kind of their fucking thing now. So they pushed the whole center away. So that's gone now, right? It's not realistically. A lot of the centers still go with them. They don't know, don't care, don't get it, fucking don't pay attention, and there you go. But nevertheless, they actually went to an effort to push away the center. And then they chopped off a slice of their end that's towards the center. and said, yeah, we don't want you guys either. Well, actually, that side kind of went, we ain't sticking around. And they hashtag walked away, right? So now it's even less on their side. They still got all this, and they picked up a very small slice from the fucking crazies. Whatever. They're still net losing. You know what I mean? And then, you know, they nurtured all this crazy shit. And they nurtured Bernie Sanders, who's an independent, because he's a socialist. So they nurtured socialism, and that became a thing. And when they finally dumped Bernie Sanders, because they were like, we already got all your people, because they just figure all Bernie Sanders supporters, you're all going to vote for Biden. Because fuck you, you're Democrats. And even though Bernie Sanders is a socialist, not a Democrat, he runs as a Democrat. So fuck you, you'll vote for Biden because you're Bernie supporters, which makes you Democrats. And you do what you're told. But a lot of Bernie supporters were like, fuck that. I ain't doing what I was told. And a lot of people are just like, well, I ain't fucking voting. I want socialism. And so they're just not going to vote. And that's a part of the crazies. Like, now they're losing crazy people. And, you know, other people that were just way into Bernie, some of them are like, well, I'm going to fucking vote for Trump now because I have no principles. The guy I support doesn't have any principles. Why would I expect me to have any principles? So fuck it. I'm going to vote for the other side now because... So you get even more crazy people are now jumping ship and going to the other side. But they're not voting for the Democrats, and that's an issue for the Democrats. So it shrinks up their slice a little bit more. And then they wickedly piss off black people by Joe Biden assuming that if you don't vote for me, you ain't black, man. And then not too long after that shit, we had George Floyd, and then Black Lives Matter started. And even though the Democrats are like full on with Black Lives Matter, kneeling to them and the whole thing, Black Lives Matter doesn't care. They want what they want, and they want it fucking now. And the Democrats are dragging their feet because, I'm sorry, we can't realistically give you what you want because what you want is fucking stupid. But we need your votes. So now a lot of people in Black Lives Matter are talking about forming a political party. I mean, they already have their own political ideology, and it's separate from every other group. And they're like, fuck Bernie Sanders, we're not going to do this. Oh, we suck the Democrats' dick just so we can see where we go. No, fuck it, we're going to be Black Lives Matter party. We're going to be a third party in this bitch. Well, apparently, if you don't vote for Democrats, you ain't black. So that means that the Democrats are kind of relying on entirety of the black vote. But if Black Lives Matter becomes a party, they're going to lose all the black people, which shrinks their fucking portion even more. A lot more, right? Now they're pretty much just down to illegals and dumb people. Educated white folk. Right? So that's what they're left with. And they are not dumb enough to think that the educated white folk are stupid enough to actually fucking follow with their horse shit when push actually comes to shove and money's involved. Come on. That was the thing I wanted to say about cancel culture. The dumbass that fucking made Hamilton. They said, well, what about Hamilton? Should that be canceled? And he was like, it's fair game. And why not? Why wouldn't he say that? These people have no principles. They have no pride in anything they create because remember, it's all created on the backs of slavery. Anything that happens in this country, even today, it's all just created off the backs of slavery. And the person that made that fucking musical, profiting off of slavery. So, yeah, sure, if you want to cancel it, I don't give a shit. You got my permission. I don't give a fuck. But even more, that person, I don't know if it's a woman or a man, that person doesn't give a fuck even more because they already got paid. A production company already bought the musical. They're out of it. They got their money. And I'm sure they've made enough money to this point that if the gravy train all of a sudden stops, they're going to be like, I'll just ride the fucking momentum. Fuck it. I'll lower my lifestyle to upper middle class. And just live off of what I have. You can live very comfortably in an upper middle class fucking neighborhood, man. It ain't gated, but nothing happens there. That's why it isn't gated. So, yeah, like, fucking, they don't give a shit, but you tell them, okay, well then you should also give back all of the money you've made off of it. Well, I'm sure there's going to be some sort of reason why that's racist. Right? So cancel culture is fucking gay. That was pretty much going to be my thing with it. And not gay like homosexual, gay like gay. Like, you know what I mean when I say gay. I don't mean like gay like dudes sucking dicks or girls eating box. Like, I don't care about that. I mean like gay. It's like gay. Anyways, whatever. So, yeah. But fucking, so now the Democrats are down to essentially two elements. They have educated white people that are stupid enough to just fucking do whatever they're told. And you've got... like, I don't know who's left at this point. Because you gotta figure out all the women have got to be pretty pissed. Because they're just getting fucking passed over for black people. So all of the feminists have got to be like, what the fuck, man? And not only that, but you have Tara Reid. Right? Believe all women turned into, well, we need fucking proof awfully fucking quick, didn't it? Ladies? Right? And so that pissed off a lot of the feminists. So again, we got more fracturing there. And what's happening on the Republican side? We're all sitting around going, hey, go on in for a big old hug, or 6 feet, Corona hug, right? Oh, that was the other thing I was going to talk about, coronavirus. It's just become the excuse for everything now. And that's the fucking thing of it. It's just become the excuse for everything we don't want you to do. Well, we don't want you to go out and protest for your rights, coronavirus. But if you want to go out and protest for Black Lives Matter, well, that's fine. In fact, that actually keeps coronavirus down because you're all being so responsible while you're out there, shoulder to shoulder. Anyways, that was my other point. It's just become an excuse now, which is just pissing me off. But yeah. So the Democratic Party is pretty much fucking... It's either pissed off and pushed away everybody because it was like, oh, we're on your side, and then the next problem comes up for somebody else and they go, oh shit, we're on your side, and then the next problem comes up in the news. I mean, let's be honest, the next problem becomes a major thing, and then it's, we're on your side, right? And there's been so many fucking heads that have been pushed out of the way that they're like, are you on our side? Like, they were all sorts of on their side when they were so sure that Brett Kavanaugh was a fucking serial rapist that ran a rape ring in college. Right? When they were so certain that that was the case. And what happened? The man was confirmed to the Supreme Court justice. So, they lost. Like, they were so certain that they were right, and they're still so certain that they're right, but it didn't fucking matter. You lost. Sorry, bitches. Like, he's fucking justice now. That's how that shit happens. You don't win them all. And then Tara Reid comes out, and then it turned from, well, we believe all women. You know, a woman has a voice, and a woman has a story, and that's her truth, and the whole thing, and all that was going on. And then Tara Reid comes out, and it turns into, well, we need proof. And all the feminists are like, we didn't need proof with Brett Kavanaugh. What the fuck happened? All of a sudden we need proof now? No, all men are rapists. Like, you know, you don't get it. What do you mean we need proof now? Just because it's Joe Biden? Joe Biden's not the candidate that they can just say, well, everybody's just going to forgive Joe Biden. He's creepy Joe Biden. He's always been creepy Joe Biden. They don't deny it. Joe Biden has had to come out multiple fucking times recently and say, I'm really sorry for the way I act around women. I'm working on it. And that's as good as they get. And that's what they accept. But then this happens and it's all of a sudden, well, we're going to say exactly what they were saying when we were saying they were assholes for saying what they're saying. Doesn't that make you assholes? And yeah, a lot of women went, you're assholes. And yeah, dude, like you can't. They had a whole cohesive side, and they, through just mismanagement of it, were able to not only create new sects within it that wished to branch off, but they pushed away a lot of the people that they were courting through the process of courting all of those different groups of people. And at the same time, cut off almost the entirety of the middle side because fuck them, they're not extreme left enough. You guys are Republican. At any point, you say, I don't buy, you could be like, man, I'm with you on the whole racial justice thing. I'm with you on the whole economic equality thing. I'm with you with absolutely everything. I just don't really think global warming is all that you guys make it out to be. I mean, you guys get pretty fucked. It was 12 years. And at that point, guess what? You're a Republican. That's all you need. Disagree with us on one thing and you ain't with us no more. And a lot of people have caught on to that and they're like, alright, I guess I'm Republican now. Like, and you've got these people that just hate our country. They're just people that just hate this country for whatever reasons you want. And the Democrats are doing everything that they can to push them. At some point, they're going to figure out that the Democrats were the party that was like really against abolishing slavery. And when they do, they're going to want to cancel the Democrats. Like, they want to cancel George Washington just because he owned slaves. They want to cancel Abraham Lincoln because a white man giving the black man freedom is like white supremacy. They want to erase abolitionists, black abolitionists, because they weren't hardcore enough. It's not long before it's Martin Luther King, because he wasn't extreme as Farrakhan. He wasn't fucking down with it enough. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be long before they're going to be like, we don't want to be with the Democrats anymore. And they're like entertaining these people, and they're supporting them and pushing their ideas forward. The Democrats are such great fact checkers until it comes to fact checking themselves. Then they don't give a fuck. But yeah, I mean, it's so silly now. Because it's like, we're going to have like a 12-party system coming up. But you know what's going to be funny? It's still going to be the Republicans versus all these other different groups. Because all these other different groups are going to be different shades of Democrat. How extreme of a flavor do you want of Democrat? Do you want to be a part of the BLM party? Do you want to be a part of the fucking We Just Hate America party? Do you want to be a socialist? Do you want to be a communist? You want to try and recapture the old days with the new Democratic Party? Good luck. That's the smallest fucking part of the party. That's the weakest group. So, right? And what do the Republicans have? What's further right than the Republicans? The KKK, which is now largely defunct, and other people that are of that mindset, which we generally laugh at and ignore. Because we don't want to give them any power. Because their ideas are stupid, bad, harmful. So we just laugh at them and go, yeah, they're just the dummies to the right of us. And that's what the left should have been doing the whole time. When Anita Sarkeesian came out with her fucking spiel, they should have went, she's one of the dummies to the left of us. And that would have been it. Like, honestly, I think that might have been a moment. I don't know if it would have been the moment, because there's still Obama and the whole you're racist if you don't vote for Obama thing that they tried. Like, there's still that. And that was pretty fucking asshole-ish. But I really think that Anita Sarkeesian would have been a huge moment for the Democratic Party. If they would have went, she's one of the people we laugh at. Don't take her seriously. And if nobody would have, like, supported her and promoted her horseshit and said, nah, she's a little bit extreme, I don't think we'd be in this position right now. I honestly don't. The thought, I don't know. But, yeah, at some point they decided to entertain their dummies. And we're still not entertaining our dummies. And believe me, our dummies have been trying to get us to entertain them the whole time this has been going on. And they had a big moment when they were carried around tiki torches and all that shit. But they were kind of universally laughed at by the people that they were hoping would support them. Because we don't go that way. That's gay. We don't go that way. Again, not talking about homosexuality. You know what I mean. Anyways. You know what I mean? So we look at those people and go, have fun with the tiki torch, man. And that's all they get from us. They go, yeah, white people. Yeah, gotcha. And that's all they get. We don't support them and fucking put them on. And anytime anybody fucking had them on their YouTube channel, they would sit there and go, yeah. And then they would fucking destroy their thoughts. Like, nobody ever really seriously entertained them. We did what we do in a society. They said, we've got ideas. And people went, all right, let's hear it. And they gave their ideas. And people went, but that's dumb. And they explained why it's dumb. And the answer they got back was, well, that's what you've been taught by the Jews. And that ends the discussion right there, because that is not a counter-argument. So, that is not a viable retort to the utter destruction of your entire side. That's no you. Your mom gay. No you. That's... And that ends the discussion. Right there, that ends the discussion. You just lost. Sorry, you lost. Because that's the best you had. I wrecked your perspective, and you went, you're gay, and that was the best you had. And not then I'm meaning like the ignorant side of it. So that's meaning the homosexual, not meaning bad. It's that, anyways. It's difficult to explain if you don't just understanding the language. But so. Yeah, so like, you know. Shit. Someday I'll get in trouble, but then I'm going to play the rest of the parts and be like, what do you say to that? Clearly I'm trying to make a joke. But yeah, no, I think it's insane to think that Joe Biden has a fucking snowball's chance in hell. Because as this continues, like the left is thinking this is awesome. Because they're sitting there going, people are going to go, look what Trump's America has become. But they're not paying attention to the fact that they're supporting what's going on at the same time, which makes them assholes. And everybody's seeing that because they're actually supporting the thing that they're then pointing at and going, this is what Donald Trump is letting happen. Like, and people are catching on to that shit. Because everybody's sitting at home. Because COVID, it's our excuse. COVID. What's the excuse to grind what's the excuse? Like, what is the one thing that Donald Trump is untouchable on? The economy. How do we grind the economy to a halt? Shut it down. Well, what do we need to do to shut it down? Wait for China to fuck up. Ding! Now we shut down the economy, and the economy's for shit. It was record setting. It was record setting every day for like weeks straight at points. And now look at us. And what is it the Republicans say? We need to get back to work, get this economy going again, because we were doing fucking really good and we need to get back there. And what do the Democrats say? COVID. So now you're creating another faction of people that are going to be angry in the Democratic Party, you know, a Democratic bloc of voters, you know, people that want to work for a living. Which I know is a very small percentage of the Democrats, but nevertheless, that's still... How much more can they afford to kick away at this point, man? Like, so, hey, fuck it, I don't know. But we'll see in November what happens, if the sheep will just go bah, or if fucking they decide to revolt. And like, who knows, man? You could wind up with like record amounts of Republicans turning out to vote, or even just the same amount of Republicans that came out 4 years ago coming out to vote, but have like a couple, 100,000 Democrats come out and vote. Wouldn't that be a fucking thing? If like every Republican that voted 4 years ago just went, alright, let's go vote again, and they all voted, which was, remember, a losing share, but the only like 100,000 people even vote for Democrats. It's like we have record low turnout for Democrats because so many factions that have sprung up within the Democratic Party are like, well, this election's blown. We don't have time to really organize and get a good party together, so fuck them. We're just not going to vote for them. We're going to let them know that we're leaving. And we're just not going to vote at all. And then November comes the announcement of, like, when the Democrats just lose abysmally. That would be when all of the announcements of all the new parties coming out to replace the Democratic Party, which again, like I said before, is just going to be different extreme levels, different extreme flavors of Democrat. Like that's... Do you want to go as far as socialism, or do you just want to settle for black supremacy? Like, pick your fucking choice. Where do you want to be in the Democratic Party? Because no matter what, you're still going to always lose against the Republicans because they are still one giant, massive, solid block. So the Democrats, their own worst enemies, I think might have maybe, with all of the shenanigans that they have pulled, depending on how things continue to go. If BLM becomes a political party, the Democrats are fucked. I mean, the Democrats are fucked. They're just fucked. Because not one black person is going to vote for anybody but BLM, which is not true, nevertheless. Fucking... You're out of your fucking mind. They're fucked. They are so fucked. And again, their own doing. Frankenstein's monster attacks again.